morning, I'm Leila Orujeva with the latest news on AzVision TV. Over the past 24 hours, Armenian armed forces have violated the ceasefire along the contact line between Azerbaijani and Armenian troops 90 times using heavy machine guns, reports the Ministry of Defense of Azerbaijan. Spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Azerbaijan, Hikmet Hacıyev, has released a statement on the occasion of the 26th anniversary of the occupation of Azerbaijan's Shusha city by Armenia. The statement described the occupation of the city, including all the atrocities committed by Armenians. The occupation of Shusha was part of Armenia's systematic policy of occupation and aggression against Azerbaijan. The statement reminded of the relevant UN resolutions still remaining not followed and noted that Shusha is and will remain an inseparable part of Azerbaijan. The participants of the second session of the 15th meeting of the EU-Azerbaijan Parliamentary Cooperation Committee adopted the final declaration, which notes that the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict plays a role in continuation of unstable situation in the region. The declaration supports the settlement of the conflict within the framework of international law and the territorial integrity of Azerbaijan. It also reflects unconditional fulfillment of the rights of refugees and internally displaced persons. Another issue discussed at the session was export of goods and services from Nagorno-Karabakh by the EU. Vasilis Maragos, head of Neighbourhood and Enlargement Negotiations Unit at the European Commission's Director General, refused and firmly said that the EU does not import any goods or services from Nagorno-Karabakh. From this point of view, I do not think that we demonstrate double standards on this issue, he added. This was a response to earlier comments by Ambassador Kamil Khasiev, representative of Azerbaijan's Foreign Ministry, that European companies are engaged in extracting gold in the occupied Azerbaijani territories. Azerbaijan expects the EU to take a decisive position on Armenian exploitation of natural resources in its occupied lands. Mikhail Bacharnikov has been appointed the new Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Russia to Azerbaijan to replace Vladimir Dorokhin. Bacharnikov completed his diplomatic mission in Kazakhstan in 2018. Vusal Huseynov, the newly appointed chairman of the State Migration Service, spoke of his priorities as the new chairman of the institution. He said that the functions of the service will be fully in line with the tasks assigned by President Ilham Aliyev.
We are currently analyzing the situation in the service to discover the gaps we are facing. The priority for us is to build a roadmap that will guide our functions. We have already defined main directions. We, as a service, will only rely on skilled and professionals while hiring new staff. We would love to support young employees and those who had expertise in the civil service. We are also planning to be more transparent in our work with media.
The World Bank expects significant growth in the economy of Azerbaijan in the next 3 years, according to the bank's Europe and Central Asia Economic Update report. Azerbaijan's GDP will grow by 1.8% in 2018, 3.8% in 2019 and 3.2% in 2020. The growth is expected to accelerate in the medium term, driven by an expansion of natural gas production, as the main pipeline TANAP that will deliver gas to Europe from the Shah Deniz 2 field will be operational by end 2018, reads the report. Passengers will be able to start traveling via the Baku-Tbilisi-Kars railway as of 2019, said Javid Gurbanov, chairman of Azerbaijan Railways. Chairman says this will happen as soon as they receive passenger trains from Stalda, which will be delivered in early 2019. Gurbanov added that the tariffs for passenger transportation will be coordinated with Georgia and Turkey, and the final decision will be made at the governmental level. The Armenian parliament has elected opposition leader Nikol Pashinyan as the new prime minister, signaling an end to weeks of political turmoil in the former Soviet Republic. Pashinyan won 59 votes in the legislature with 42 against him. He spearheaded a protest movement that first forced Serge Sargsyan to step down as prime minister and then pressured the ruling party to abandon attempts to block his election as prime minister, the country's most powerful post. Before elections, Nikol Pashinyan said he is ready to hold talks with Azerbaijan's leadership on the settlement of Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. Air France staff kicked off another 2-day strike on Monday, joining rail workers and students for a second month of stoppages over President Emmanuel Macron's labor reforms. The strength of the protest movement may have waned, but union bosses for Air France, the SNCF and university students are still maintaining pressure on the government to roll back planned reforms. Monday's meeting follows a decision by Air France CEO Jean-Marc Janaillac to resign after airline staff on Friday rejected a pay deal designed to end weeks of strikes and embarked on a 2-day strike to continue their demands for higher wages. Since rail and airline stoppages began in early April, the country has been beset by employee unrest and disruptions to transport services. And that was all from me today. Thank you for watching, and don't miss tomorrow's edition with my colleague Sabina Hassanova. Have a wonderful evening.